Hello everybody. I don't know how many people are here. One person. Say hi in the chat, buddy. nobody chatting tonight or what? Always lose the ink that you want to use. Nowhere to be found. World War II beige, where are you? Where art thou? This is deck 10. I swear I just had it. put a deck tan on the windows, which is just a slight gray, but mostly white. And then I wanted to make the walls the World War II beige, because it's just a more taupey kind of color, more like, and I wanted those to work off of each other. But maybe it's fate. I don't know. Why can't I find this dark paint? And I just had it. I just had it all with these right over here. What a guy. I can't keep track. What am I gonna do now? Well, I guess we're gonna try it. You guys all done over here? We gotta change our music. Now I like to wet brush my wood. I don't dry brush. I know everybody talks about dry brushing, but in my opinion, dry brushing is done on top of another paint. And what I'm doing here is I'm adding a paint coat to the wood that is not complete. But it's not dry brushing, because dry brushing, you put down a color and then you dry brush over it. Kind of like this shingle here. I've already painted this shingle this color and I already needed to dry brush, so now I come up with my color over top like this. As you can see, it still captured the orange while making it look weathered. That was kind of unplanned, but there you go. I'll be coming back at this with some inks to tone it down, and I might actually come back with a little rust and stuff to bring out the orange a little bit more. Let's work it out. It'll look gold. We'll see what it looks like after it's dry. I'll get back to these walls though. I will. And then I'll tell her you told me to say that, Brad. So, I'm not going for this sand ivory color fully. I'm adding a little bit of deck tan to it to tone it down, so kind of not quite so yellow. Almost put full strength paint on, that would have shown up. Hello Brad, how are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Actually, speaking of blaming on the wife, we found me some colors. Some of the hardest parts to do is to do detail parts because we don't have these extra little colors. So she got me vivid yellow and Tuscan red, and then this is flesh for maybe little people if I get that far. However, little people are a little bit too much on the eyes. Oh, wow. Well, Jim, I'll turn it down. Sorry. There. Maybe this will put you in the mood. Well, maybe not this one. I thought it was gonna be Thriller or something. Damn music. Now we sound like a circus. Oh gosh.
You gotta listen up, listen up. There's not a thing that I can't get from you. Boy, I don't need that much. How can I tell you what I wanna do? I never needed you to.
There we go. So that color's not gonna work. Back to the drawing board on that. So maybe we'll do some flat earth. Get an earthy tone to it. Tell you the truth, the music keeps me from getting bored. So now, because I'm painting the flat earth over the gray that hasn't quite dried yet, we got a little bit of a puke color, but I don't know. Let's just say we meant it. I got a little bit of a surprise coming up this week, Brad. Well, maybe not. No, I can't say this week. got in touch with Brett Gallant of Sierra West. And I think he's only done one interview before. And he doesn't like to do interviews, but he accepted with me, so we've already gone over the questions and all that jazz. We just have to hook up and do a hangout. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. So, we did something last week, or no, 2 nights ago, maybe 3 days ago. I had a toothpick for this. I had a tool for this, but I know darn well that I moved it. Found it. Patented glass unit right here. It's a patented glass unit. Toothpick. Weld bond glue. We're going to take our window and from the back get some glue onto our window here. We're just going to paint the outside with glue. Put a little bit more glue on that. Start painting the middle, and as you do that, your window panes appear. And if you want to leave one broken out, I guess we'll do that right in the middle there. Now this isn't something that I came up with. No, none of my tricks or anything that I've come up with. I'm no genius. I just learned this from a couple of kids. And on the door, same thing. Now you might be asking, well, Ron, how you see through the windows if you do that to the windows? And you know what? Lots of my windows are all fogged up in the end because I don't want people looking in them anyways. What business do they have nosing around my stuff anyways? we go. Yeah, it should be a very interesting interview, Brad. It's not going to be your average interview. We've already sorted out the questions, and he basically took me on because I'm unique, and the questions that I've had weren't afraid to ask. Kind of tough questions for him to, this isn't your average interview, and I think that's why he accepted my offer. Lots of people give advice about glue all the time, and the glue that I'm using today, if you've seen my videos before, you will know is weld bond glue. And the reason I use it is that. Try to get that other junk to stick together that quickly. Like I'm holding it. It's not falling apart. Couple of things about weld bond glue. It's, you know, if you let's compare it to yellow glue. Yellow glue, if you stick a wet rag on it after it's been cured for 2 years, it'll loosen up and you can take the parts apart. It is not waterproof. But weld bond, it isn't waterproof either, but it is water resistant. I've never had a model fall apart, and when I try the soaking method on weld bond, it never worked. Oh, we're falling apart now. Okay, I gotta leave my fingers off of it for a second. I would decide on the kit that has the technique you want to do. They're both huge kits, so they're gonna be in the way for a long time. So I imagine the lesson will be the important part. Man, you've got two instruction manuals there. Just like, those are the best you can get. You'll be able to sell those kit boxes easy on eBay after you're done the kit. Whoa. That's bright. Okay, craft store paint gets old and gets spongy after a while. I'm trying to think of which one has it. You see how it's up in the cap there? It's all gunked up and it starts getting coagulated. This stuff doesn't last as long, but it's still good paint. You can't dispute that it's good paint. I just got this stuff from the grocery store, Multi-Craft, and it looks pretty good. But the Vallejo paints are great, if but a little thick. These things will clog up your airbrush really good if you don't really thin them out nice enough. So I don't know. I like the Vallejo paints. The colors are bang on. I only got 2 sets. The set that I got had all the whites and blacks and grays in it. So basically my color palette. However, you know, dollar store paints, you can't beat them. For these detail colors, the reds and yellows and blues and all these colors that you don't use all the time, I suggest you spend as little money as you can on them. So these are the dollar store colors that you want. And then when it comes to white and black, you get a nice big thing. But this is more of a thicker paint. This is a matte thick paint. So I've got white and black in a huge amount. And then my Vallejo colors are basically all the earth tones. So, that's the best way to look at them. In dollar store paints, I suggest you get a lot of burnt umber. Burnt umber is a color that people really don't use enough, but it is the base to pretty much all earth tones. Like, this is a great color to start with for doing groundwork and earthy kinds of stuff. An olive green is a staple in model railroading, and I don't really think it's because of olive green paint. I think it's because a lot of paint in those days was green, and it faded, and it really had this really unique color, and you could see it everywhere. It was everywhere, this color. So I love using that color. Feel free to ask questions while we're letting the paint dry here. So this is really truly the only flaw to this live format is modeling really isn't a contact sport. What's happening, Jack? If for those who've been following since the beginning know that I got this kit off of eBay, and it lacks all the windows and the doors in the kit, so I've been having to kit bash, I guess you could say. Thanks, buddy. It is a challenge, but you know, what you don't see is that I've got one eye closed in some situations, and it's funner than driving. Well, I still can. Now I like to let the windows dry upside down because, you know, while you're adding the glue to the windows, it falls to the bottom of the sill. So when you're done and you flip it upside down, you give that window a chance to level itself out before it dries. I'll just be patient and do the bottom floor after that's started. And our window over here failed drastically. I think, I hope you might remember that I left the one panel broken, but not two. Looks good. My next project after this may be a lumber mill. I don't know. I've got a Walther's lumber mill that I might fiddle with a bit. I'm not really experienced with plastic, so I'm kind of intimidated by it, but mostly an intimidation is with me is done after I figured out what colors to paint it. I'm a home brewer, so I like to have my own lager here. I'm out of it. I don't really this apple cider is being brewed at the moment. Takes a couple of months to really taste good, so home brewing is much like modeling, you know, you gotta be patient with it. Huh, okay, so those are actually really big pains to be putting the glue in, and it'll be good to see how that looks in the end. It'll probably be all dried up by my next live stream. I hope you guys enjoy the live stream. I love doing this. However, you know, it really helps with the inspiration when you can, you know, purchase a couple of paints or a couple of materials online to do these live streams all the time. So if you're interested in chipping in, supporting the cause, please consider going to patreon.com/Ron Perry. That's Patreon, patreon.com/Ron Perry, RONPARE, and consider pitching in a buck. A buck goes a long way when there's you know, 10 or 20 of you. Right now I think I've got 6 or 7. Please consider chipping in a buck. What's a buck? But I'll tell you, you know, at the end of the month when I can, you know, put a couple of bucks in to buy something that I really don't have the money to buy, all of it comes back to the channel. And actually part of this little Patreon thing, I have some old kit boxes that I'm gonna give away. I'm gonna raffle off to patrons, and in those kit boxes I'm gonna put lengths of scale wood, you know, different doodads that I got kicking around the shop here that I can give away. You know, it's not going to be a full kit or anything like that, but it's either going to have, you know, some supplies, scratch building supplies, Stuff that I think is junk, but wouldn't be junk in your shop, I guarantee you. So if you're interested in being a part of the raffles like that, please consider chipping in $1. I'm a needy, visually impaired bugger, like Brad says. Just 1 second. If you're over on the Twitch site watching me and chatting with me and all that stuff, I'm not watching the chat over there. I'm very sorry. But I've been streaming for 2 weeks and nobody says anything to me over there, so I just stopped looking. So word has it that Fine Scale Miniatures, George Celios, is coming out with another kit this year, and it is very likely going to be his last kit ever. He may be going into retirement, so that will be two. South River is in retirement now, Bob Van Gelder. Oh, on this building? It's already shingled, actually. I'm going to paint it this brown color first, and then I'm gonna dry brush it gray. I've got the finished color on the other side. If you want to see, if you look at earlier pictures or videos over here on this little brick lean-to, the roof is finished. My other hobbies are home brewing and cooking, I guess. Playing guitar. I play guitar too. Yeah, I play guitar. Brad, I started out in this hobby by working with and for, imagine that, laser art. I built kits for instruction photos. I built kits for their display layout. I built kits for their clients. And that's how I got into the hobby. And the craftsman kits, you see, there's a thing when you sell models, when you're in the business of model making in this hobby, it gets expensive, right? So the one thing people always try to do in these deals is turn it into a barter deal, closer to the end when build time comes around. So that's in fact how I got many of my craftsman kits, to the chagrin of my wife. You work building these kits and stuff like that, and you really don't get the money that you're promised in the end, but that's them's the breaks. So I used to do that a lot. I built a couple of layouts and built a bunch of models for various people, mostly in the United States. I don't really do that much anymore. Working in the hobby, there's a lot of jealousy and ego, and the anxiety of all that horse shit got to me, and I just build for myself now. So these modules and dioramas that I'm building will go together in a layout at some time, and I'm hoping it will be what I want to open up, a cafe style model railroad club, one where people don't join the club and pay dues and stuff like that. They just pay when they get there. They run some trains and they buy coffee or a beer or whatever, right? So I'm gonna look into that in the future, and until then I'm just gonna quietly build these dioramas up, and one day we'll have them all built into a really big layout where everybody can operate on and have fun. Okay guys, the wife just came in for a smoke, and I'm gonna run out and grab a drink for a second. I'll be right back. Please don't leave. If you have any questions while I'm gone, post them in the chat. I don't know, I guess I'll stream for another hour or so. We'll get the roof onto this model here. Danny, I did do a Kickstarter last November and reached, two years ago. 2 Novembers ago, I did a Kickstarter for an old bridge. Here, let me pull out the bridge. So that's was the Kickstarter bridge, and it got 60% of its goal. This is actually a bridge that's located near me, called Denfield Road Bridge. Yeah, that was the project, but we didn't reach our goal, so I didn't make the kit. And to tell you the truth, next time I do a Kickstarter, I'm gonna ask for twice as much than I did last time. Forget it. You know, if you're gonna do something, you might as well do it good. And you're not gonna get anything done good if you don't have enough money to do it. So I think the last one was like $5,000 to do the kit. I think this time I'll go for $10,000. I don't know. However, I do have a GoFundMe campaign going on right now. Let me find the link for that. You know, the thing is, Brad and Danny, that Kickstarter failed, and 2 months after the Kickstarter was over, a company came out with an old wood bridge kit. Not the exact same prototype as I had, but, you know, basically they couldn't get it out fast enough. However, the link that I shared with you goes to a charity project that I'm doing called Trains for Kids. I have the layout almost done. I just need to put the finishing touches on the case itself. We have the railroad together. We just need to get the last bit to get the case itself. I funded the majority of it. I had someone who's gonna do the case for me, and he stole some of the money that was contributed to the campaign, and so that was kind of a drag. And the project's still not done. We're still got to get funding. I put some of my own money in. I'm kind of poor, so I really don't have a lot of money to contribute to it. I was hoping that it would make it, have it finished and out here by now, but that's part of the Patreon too, you know. So contributors to the Patreon campaign, that money, you know, when I get it, that'll go towards projects like the Trains for Kids project to help me get through that to the end, so we can give it to a hospital, a children's hospital, you know. We did a video earlier . We did a video earlier of the power of steel wool and vinegar, and that's the stain right there. The stain on the outside is ink and alcohol wash. I put it over top just to get a little bit more chocolatey color. as opposed to the red. You really can't see the real tone of it on this camera, but you can see it good enough. It's pretty dark, and as I showed in that video before, these were stained with steel wool and vinegar. You know, it gives a real nice look to wood. And of course, the wood all looked like this in the beginning, and it turns to this lickety split within 10 minutes. So I did a little video on that today. It's kind of fun. So let's get a roof on this structure. I gotta find some cereal box. Here we go. Well, the layout at the is gonna be a case, so they can put it the lid on it and put it in a closet. So there really wouldn't be much maintenance. However, you know, that's the great part about it. I think I would refuse to maintain it so that they would have to find somebody in the community to do it. You know, maybe that's the way you get somebody into the hobby, is by sticking a layout somewhere where it's gonna break and someone needs to fix it so that the kids can play with the trains. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm a little backwards thinking. However, you know, that little layout's just a roundy anyways, so there's not going to be much on it. Be cheap old Tyco train or something on it. I was going to try and get a sponsor to give a train for it, but you know, I don't know if you remember Family Ties with Michael Gross. He contributed to the project. See you later, Brad. Thanks for watching. You know darn well that some janitor or something is going to take that layout under his wing. You know, I'm not saying that I wouldn't take care of it. I'm just kind of joking. But, you know, I think it's better that, you know, if I did give it to the hospital, or, well, when I do give it to the hospital, let's get that straight. You know, that you just share it with other people, you know. I don't want this to be, Ron's layout that he's giving away or anything. I want to make it theirs, and whoever fits in that role fits in it. But like I said before, if I was able to entice somebody to learn it, I wouldn't feel that that would be a cop-out. So, let me pull out my bag of tricks. You know, after you've built hundreds of kits, or a whole bunch of kits, you get a stash of roofing parts and shingles in all scales. I can remember where all these are from too. This is from Full Steam Ahead. Full Steam Ahead. This is Sierra Scale Models, Dave Barron's place. These are from an old Master Creations kit, Fanny Schwann's. This one right here is Sierra West Scale Models. Oh, and some tar paper from Fine Scale Miniatures. That's what we're gonna do. More tar paper. Now, if you want to make this tar paper from scratch, the paper, all it is old grocery bag material. And then you paint grimy black, which is kind of a gray-ish black. A dark gray, maybe. Could call it a dark gray. Probably need a couple more. I'll make the strips about a ½ an inch. Still haven't put in my corner trim yet. I have to do that yet. Somebody remind me. Remember, we got things going on over on this channel. If you're interested in contributing to the Trains for Kids project, you can go over to the GoFundMe, Trains for Kids, or over to patreon.com/Ron Perry and contribute $1. All that stuff goes towards all the cool things that we do around here. I don't have my scissors in here. It kind of makes this easier job with my scissors. It also makes it an easier job with my... Come on. Haha! Son of a bitch! Ah, ha, ha. Fucker. That's what happens when you crash through the roof, boys and girls. Okay, I gotta grab my scissors. I'll be right back. let that roof dry. Take a look at our windows. It's starting to look good. Not bad. Just have to keep on fiddling with this roof until it's dry. Make sure everything sticks down proper. There's our two structures. Hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight, the live stream. Hope everybody liked the cast. If you're interested in supporting the show, please check me out on patreon.com/Ron Perry. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.